Sea of Thieves Season 15, we're going wild. There's terrifying encounters with ancient Megalodon, big changes for the Hunter's Call, and a menagerie of new creatures to find throughout the seas. So grab your gear and
No. Jellyfish, chat. Jellyfish.
So grab your gear and get ready to go on the hunt as we track down everything coming in Sea of Thieves Season 15, Wild Things. Setting sail across the waves just got a whole lot more dangerous as two new ancient Megalodon have made their way to the Sea of Thieves. Pirates can now encounter the feared Redlaw, a red-hot foe that can set your ship alight with a single bite. This harbinger of heat can also supercharge the fire that burns at its core, and then release it as a devastating explosion. So keeping your distance is recommended. And then there's the Barnacle Dread. It uses the coral plates that cover its body as armor, which you'll need to blast away with cannon fire to have any hope of defeating this formidable beast. Let it get too close, and its electrifying bite will not only do massive damage to your ship, but it'll also spawn electric ocean crawlers on your deck. Shocking behavior. If there's one group who knows about taking on big fish, it's the Hunter's Call. And in Season 15, you can set sail as their emissary, flying the flag as their representative, and building your reputation with them at an increased rate. You can now also choose to embark on raid voyages on behalf of the Hunter's Call. Completing these voyages will net you a fine haul of Hunter's Call specific loot, helping you earn even more reputation. This means there's all new rewards to unlock too, allowing you to embrace the thrill of the hunt in all of your adventures. But that's not all. You can also take on new voyages from the Hunter's Call to go in search of treasured fish. Follow the Hunter's map and look out for the telltale signs of bubbles on the surface of the water. Then cast off and get ready for a fight as you reel in the biggest fish you've ever seen. Just make sure to keep an eye out for any jealous anglers hoping to pinch your catch. And later in the season, there's even more to come, with the addition of wild boars and their treasure-laden wallows. New throwable hunting...
What is a treasure-laden wallow? A couple of dog shit chests in a pile of actual shit?
Wallows. New throwable hunting spears. A variety of ambient wildlife that will make the world feel more alive than ever before. And the introduction of voyages for the Hunter's Call that'll send you across the waves to track down mighty Megalodon. And of course, a new season means you've got 100 levels of incredible rewards to unlock, with a variety of stunning items for both your ship and pirate. With these rewards, you can answer the call of the sea and set forth with the confidence of a fearless hunter. And there's even more up for grabs with the Plunder Pass, available as an optional purchase. You can unlock the stylings of a long-gone civilization with the Dynasty of the Deep ship collection and clothing. Not only that, there are also new items to unlock from completing new commendations and milestones too. So you can proudly display the treasured rewards of your accomplishments for all to see. So get ready to answer the call of the wild, uncover a treasure trove of rewards, and battle fearsome sea monsters as you embrace your inner hunter in Sea of Thieves Season 15, Wild Things.
I love that little music.
Hey everyone, with Season 15 now right around the corner,
Yeah.
let's dive in and share a little about what's coming
Let's
up.
do that.
First off, let's talk about how Season 15 is going to roll out.
Okay.
As I shared last year,
Yeah.
we're going to be releasing our latest season, the anticipated expansion to the Hunter's Call, over February, March, and April's updates.
Okay.
The primary goal here is to slow the rate of change arriving in each update, so we can better maintain the health of the game, while also giving you all something to look forward to in each of the month's updates.
That's a good idea.
Season 15 will kick off with our next update on February 20th.
Fantastic.
And straight away, 2 new ancient Megalodon will be released upon the seas.
Wow!
You'll finally be able to set sail as an emissary for the Hunter's Call, which is now expanded to rank 100, with rings of distinction
100?
for you overachievers.
Thought it'd be 500, okay.
Along with the company expansion, there's now on-demand voyages from the quest table, with fishing and raid voyages providing company-specific treasure.
Okay.
In March, players will discover a new throwable item, the hunting spear, as well as encountering a whole range of new wildlife across the seas.
Throwable.
And then closing out the season in April, you'll be able to track down the wild boar and set sail on a new on-demand Megalodon hunting voyage. I know everyone can't wait to get their hands on all the new additions arriving in Season 15, but I'm just as excited with the game performance improvements we've got arriving in this month's update. We've got game-wide improvements with the first phase of our server multi-threading work, improvements to how treasure is populated on shipwrecks, improvements when playing at higher frame rates, island optimizations, and various improvements to treasure items. There's then improvements to both treasure hand-ins and further improvements to trinkets, addressing performance issues in both of these areas. This update will also reduce the frequency of the burning blade in the rotation of world events, primarily due to its current performance impact on the sandbox. This is our second phase of work coming out.
They are reducing the amount of burning blades that spawn. This is what he said. They're reducing the amount of burning blades that spawn because of how they negatively impact the sandbox. They are reducing the world events frequency, not because people are tired of seeing it. I mean, and you know, I'm not even trying to make that argument, but specifically because it causes so many problems.
Of our performance bash, and it's a pretty significant set of sandbox. This is our second phase of work coming out of our performance bash, and it's a pretty significant set of improvements. We've seen good results from this internally, and performance in Insiders is looking positive. We're hopeful these improvements will provide the same impact to live, but I'll hold on to my confidence rating until we see how they all land. Before I move on from performance, I wanted to talk about play in high frame rates. As the team have been diving into bug reports and feedback around game performance, we see a common trend where players with high-spec rigs are choosing to uncap their frame rates and begin to commonly reach average frame rates above 144. Sea of Thieves is currently optimized for 30, 60, and 120 FPS across PC and consoles, and you'll therefore get the best experience when locking your frame rate at one of these levels. Pushing up to 144 begins to show some signs of instability, but players choosing to step above that are opening themselves up to a knowingly degraded experience. Playing above our optimized frame rates will surface issues like rubber banding, inconsistent frame rate drops, and a degraded hit detection the higher you push. The first step here
poopy head
is sharing this information so you can make a more informed choice about how you want to play. So if you want to optimize for a more performant Sea of Thieves experience, consider locking at 30, 60 or 120 FPS. Uncapping or sinking above 144 is knowingly degrading the experience, and you do so at your own risk. We're going to keep an eye on this one as we continue.
That's crazy, man. That's so crazy, dude. Like,
continue to optimize performance across the game. And while we don't want to restrict the options you have available to you, we may have to consider that in the future if we continue to see players reporting performance issues well above our optimized range. Next up, let's talk game security.
Listen, just when you select frame rates, that Sea of Thieves doesn't do well with, and I am going to give them the benefit of doubt, okay? And I'm going to assume that they just now realized that this was a thing because they've never came out and said this. When you select a frame rate, like when you go to unlimited, it should do a little pop-up and be like, warning, Sea of Thieves is not optimized for frame rates over 30, 60, 120. We recommend these settings, okay? That way it just lets people know. Now I know he's sitting up here saying it right now, but it might be a good idea to throw that in there so that people, because when you're a PC gamer and you've spent a lot of money on your rig, like, you want to crank that hog. You know what I'm saying? You want to turn it up. You don't think, oh, I need to turn things down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we used to do that, especially in first-person shooters. We used to turn down all the graphics and everything, make the game as smooth as possible, yada, yada, yada. But what did we always do? We crank that frame rate. Always. Frame rate high as we could get it. We just like our frame rate, okay? It's smooth. It's nice. But if we can't use a good frame rate, just let us know in the game. That'd be good.
Player safety. So pack file use has gone through the roof recently, with both cheat users and hobbyists getting involved.
No, it has. He's right about this. The cheating is off the charts, okay? And for a long time, I didn't see it on my stream, okay? And I still don't see it on my stream. I don't know why. I don't know if they avoid streamers or if they avoid me. I don't know. I don't see it very often. Like, we saw John the repairman, and we saw another cheater the other day that came to my letter to tell me he liked what I did. Keep up the good work. But I don't get cheaters, like, blasting me with kegs or anything. But I have been seeing a fuck ton of this stuff. I've been getting DMs, and I've been seeing a lot of stuff where people have been cheating again, and it is crazy, actually, right now.
A zero tolerance policy here, and manipulating game files to modify the experience is a bannable offence. The team are working to identify usage and secure our game files from this moving forwards. No timelines to share on this work yet, but this is now being prioritised. We're also investing further into protections for players who become targeted by malicious users on the seas, including our creators.
Have any of y'all been targeted? Have any of y'all dealt with like a group that like comes after you over and over and over again? I'm seeing too many yeses, man. I mean, that's fucked. And when I was a small streamer, I used to have that happen, but they all followed and then started saying 69 in my chat. They became part of this shithole that I have to deal with on a daily basis. In fact, they're probably 90% of y'all right now, right? But I haven't really dealt with this, but it does need to be something needs to be done.
With further detections to crack down on players circumventing game bans. As a reminder, this isn't a one and done thing. We'll continue rolling this out in waves in coming updates. This update also includes a range of protections against malicious activity under the hood, beginning to reinforce the systems that cheaters have been using to teleport and bypass various combat restrictions. We know that the impact of cheaters is pretty significant at the moment.
Yep.
We feel your pain, and we're working hard to continue fighting back against their attacks, both in the areas I've mentioned here, but also the more secret things we're doing behind the scenes. And to finish off our game health roundup, I've got a few things to share on the game experience, as our February update delivers fixes to some common pain points. Ships appearing invisible at the start of an hourglass battle have been fixed. Common locations used to prevent ships from sinking in order to cheese hourglass battles have been addressed. Inconsistent audio when bailing water.
I want to know. I mean, maybe they don't say it, right? Because they don't want people to figure it out, but I wonder how they fix that.
And when ships are filling, should now be much more consistent. The grapple gun should no longer flip players upside down. And then game stability improvements for PS5 players during crossplay.
Where's my PS5? Have I gotten any PS5 viewers? Do I have anybody in here who's on PS5? Anybody? All right. How's y'all's experience been the past year and a half? I was wondering if they fixed the crashes. I played twice and crashed once. Are just some of the fixes landing in February's update.
The team have also been working on some tools to allow us to restrict some common economy exploits we've seen surface following the voyage rebalance in Season 11, where crews were increasing their reputation and gold earn rates much higher than intended. Crews now purposefully starting and cancelling voyages repeatedly, trying to force a specific location, and now going to find that voyage is placed on cooldown, unable to be started again for a period of time. This small change should address many of our commonly reported voyage exploits without affecting genuine play. We've also developed...
It's not an exploit if somebody is trying to get a certain island. I completely disagree with that. I don't mind them putting it on cooldown, okay? I don't mind them putting it on cooldown, but I think the way you go about it is saying, hey, we've changed it to where quests go on cooldown if you vote them down 3 or 4 times. But to come out and say it's exploit, bro, that's not an exploit. That's literally just someone not being a dumbass. Like, quite frankly, like if somebody's like, oh, if I do this a few times, I can get the island right next to me and hop over there. That's just having game sense. That's not an exploit, okay? Putting a cooldown on it. There's probably some bigger picture I don't know about, but
tools behind the scenes to lock problematic voyages without the need to take the game down for maintenance, ensuring we can protect players should a voyage become problematic in live play. And finally, stay with me here, we're nearly done. I wanted to share an update on something I hinted at back in November. We've taken the impact of Season 14 very seriously, and it shone a light on a number of areas across our team where we didn't have strong quality control. While we've made changes ahead of Season 15 that already builds our confidence in quality, it's clear that we've been too reliant on our Insiders program. While Insiders will always be a fantastic last line of defense, we know the responsibility of quality delivery has to sit with us. In order to do that, we're going to be expanding our team here at Rare, and we're hiring experienced Sea of Thieves players to form a player experience focused quality team, bringing more of your experience directly into the studio and closer to development. This will include assessing the quality of features in development through to tracking down issues reported in Insiders and live. I can't wait to get this new team on board.
I tell you what you do. Fire that entire team. Well, I mean, I don't mean to sound rude. Was that rude? Listen, you don't need any of those people. Fire all of them. All you need to do is hire LD. He is in every fucking shady, sketchy, sus-ass fucking Discord that exists. He knows everything wrong. He knows every bug, every cheat, every single thing that people do. He knows it before they know it, even though he learns about it from them. Okay? Hire LD. Just make him your guy that knows about all the bullshit, and he will tell you what's wrong. He'll tell you what's going on. Don't ask him how he knows. Don't ask him how he knows, okay? This is like the lesser of two evils here. This lesser of two evils, okay? You got to understand that, all right? But he knows shit. And y'all, nobody in here can say he don't. He knows these little fucking things like people would never even, right?
Our recruiters have been sourcing candidates, and we hope
he's in these Discords as like these little secret aliases, right? He's probably in this sus Discord, and his name's like, Johnson 69 420 or whatever, and he's like, hey man, I figured out I know how to ladder launch, even though they just patched it out, and I can also double gun and turn into a megalodon while I'm flying into the moon. You know what I'm saying? He's your guy. Get him on the job!
To get this team up and running in the next few months, bringing their lived experience and the voice of our players straight into our studio. Well, there was clearly a lot to cover here, and I hope it shows the efforts of our team addressing the issues that matter most to you.
Hopefully.
Let's call it there. Catch you all next time, and happy hunting.
I hope for the best, Chad. I hope for the best.